Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today, man? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wilds coming live to you from Houston, Texas, with this inspirational morning talk. For first-time listeners, I'm on at 8:45 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's Central Time, 8:45 Central Time. That's our time here in Houston, and you can calculate what time zone you are in. But yes, it's another one of those days where we have a 30-degree shift here in Houston, but it's all good. It's gonna end off really nice. But today, man, I want to talk about just reminder. Go on YouTube and you can find a lot of these stuff. The last three or four I didn't get to upload yet, but I'll try and make some time and upload them. I'm kind of getting back busy, but I'll try and upload them in another day or two, including this one, right? But you can go on there and it's a lots of stuff on there. Just a reminder. Um, so I want to talk about today. We're talking about, I encouraging everyone in December who are interested to do that fast, get realigned with God, get realigned with His will for your life and everything. And part of that, we talk about, the last time we talked about having confidence in the Word, right? Having confidence in the Word and who's the word, and we break all that down. If you missed that, you could go back and look at it, but that was a nice one. So today what I want to do now, I want to show you excuse me, I want to show you now further evidence why you need to have confidence in the word, why you need to get realigned with God, why you need to follow His laws and do those stuff, right? I just want to show you some further thing about that. So I want to look at Ezekiel. This is a supernatural protection. We want to be protected because all the stuff that's going on in this world today, every day you look on the news, you're seeing things happening. You're seeing somebody get killed on the road, somebody get shot, something happen here, some terrorist there, some fire here. You're seeing all of these things. Now, what you do, stay in your house and get scared and don't go out on the street? God, that's people who dying out there. That's people who just left the home today or who go out for the day and boom, they never made it back home or right in their own home and all of that. So what's the answer? We just stay and lock up in our own homes. Stuff can happen right in there. I see people right here getting shot up in their own home, vehicle run off the street and kill people in their own house and all that. So nowhere is safe. Nowhere is safe. But one thing you can do to have a certain protection that you don't need to worry and you go about your normal business every day. You could go about your business every day. Good morning, Jillian. And don't worry about all the stuff that's going on out there because you can't lock up in your house. Nowhere is safe, right? So I want to bring you to Ezekiel 8. I really want to stress on Ezekiel 9, this protection that people got. But let me set the stage with Ezekiel 8 and show you what was going on there in Ezekiel 8. You could go back and digest this whole story. And this is a lot of meaning into this story here. And this was going on today in a lot of our churches also. So I want you to take a good look at this story here in Ezekiel 8. I can read a little bit from Ezekiel 8 because what I want to focus on is Ezekiel 9 more, but I can give you a little bit from Ezekiel 8, but I want to encourage you to go and read the full thing out for yourself, right? So Ezekiel 8. In the 6th year, in the 6th month of the 5th day, while I was sitting in my house and the elders of Judah were sitting before me, the hand of the sovereign Lord came on me there. I looked and I saw a figure like that of a man. From what appeared to be his waist down, he was like fire, and from there up his appearance was like bright as glowing metal. He stretched out what looked like a hand and took me by the hair of my head. The Spirit lifted me between earth and heaven, and in a vision of God took me to Jerusalem, to the entrance of the north gate of the inner court, where the idol that provoked to jealousy stood. So let me set the stage of what's going on here. Ezekiel in his house with all the elders of Judah, all the big priests or rabbis and all that, they come to Ezekiel's house. All the leaders in the church community there, like most of them, right? And God says, Ezekiel, all these people in your house, all these big rabbis and priests, all these who so-called godly people, let me take your spirit and show you what they are doing. Let me take you into my sanctuaries. Let me take you into those temples where they claim they worship in me. Let me take you and show you all of these people right in your house here. Let me take you and show you what they're doing in a vision. So Ezekiel's body was there in the house sitting in a chair. You probably think he fell on a doze or something. But God took him and showing him what they are doing in his own church. So let's go on. And there before me was the glory of God of Israel, and in the vision I had seen in the plain. Then he said to me, Son of man, look towards the north. So I looked, and in the entrance north of the gate of the altar I saw this idol of jealousy. And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what they are doing? The utterly detestable things the Israelites are doing here, things that will drive me far away from my sanctuary. But you will see things that are even more detestable. You show them all the idols and stuff what they have in the church, hiding in the walls and in secret rooms and all of that. But God said it's not done there. Let me show you more detestable things what these people are doing. Then he brought me to the entrance to the court. I looked and I saw a hole in the wall. He said to me, Son of man, now dig into the wall. So I dug into the wall and saw a doorway there. This is a wall now. You don't know this. You see a nice wall painted, big picture on it or all of that. You don't know. He said, dig into the wall and let's show you what's going on. And he said to me, go in and see the wicked, detestable things they are doing there. So I went in and looked, and I saw portraits of portraits all over the wall, all kinds of crawling things and unclean animals, and the idols of Israel, all the idols where them people was worshiping right in the church in this hole in the wall. Okay. In front of them stood 70 elders of Israel. So I'm sure most of those 70 elders were in his house. For God showing him what these same elders are doing in his own churches, in his own sanctuaries, in his own temples, right? In front of them stood 70 elders of Israel, and Jazaniah, son of Sharaphan, was standing among them. Each had a censer in his hands, and a fragrant cloud of incense was rising. He said to me, Son of man, have you seen what the elders of Israel are doing in the darkness? Have you seen what they're doing in the darkness? Each at the shrine of his own idol. So all these big things, after they don't have church and tell you about God and all of this God and do all this stuff, they gone in the secret little compartments right in the same building and they worshiping other gods. Iniquity, obia, voodoo, all the likes what we'd call it in different parts of the world. That's what they're doing in the church after they come and stand in front of you and tell you about God, right? They say the Lord does not see us. They're thinking God ain't seeing them. That's what I say. Don't do things in the dark. God's seeing you. You can hide from man, but God is seeing. They think God ain't seeing them. The Lord has forsaken the land. Again, he said, you will see them doing things that are even more detestable. I can go on more. You got some men that are doing more wicked stuff right in the churches, right? So this is what they're doing. And God said, you know what, in 9 now, you could read on 8 and finish off 8. I just want to give you what 9 is talking about, because it's 9 I want to focus on today. But 9 stems from, we'll go on in 8. So I'll give you an idea. These elders in front of Ezekiel, in Ezekiel's house, God took Ezekiel's spirit from there and take him into the church, all in the secret compartments where these priests and pastors and rabbi and all of them was worshiping other gods right in his own house, performing all kinds of rituals and worshiping these other gods right in his own house, right? In Caribbean, we call it obia. In other parts, it's voodoo, it's witchcraft, and they're coming in front of you in the church and telling you about God. And then gone in secret and thinking God ain't seeing them. All right. So God said, I got something for these guys here. But remember, God don't do anything before you reveal stuff to his prophet. That's what Amos 3:7 said. Amos 3:7, read Amos 3:7. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing his plan to his servants, the prophets. So God said, I ain't going to do nothing on that earth without revealing it and showing somebody what I'm going to do. That's my law. So a lot of these disasters, a lot of things that are going on in the world today, somebody get a dream, somebody get a vision. Sometimes some people might say, oh my goodness, I had a dream about the same exact thing. He's saying, I'm not going to do nothing on this earth without revealing it to one of my prophets. I'm not going to do anything. So people get in dreams, but if you're not mature spiritually to understand what these dreams mean and share your knowledge, that's why in every church is supposed to got some prophet. There's somebody who might not be the pastor. It may be an ordinary member. It may not be the pastor. But a pastor got to willing to encourage everybody in their own gifts and listen to them, and don't try to do everything. Because you may not be blessed with all this. The body of Christ is different parts. One is the hand, the foot, the eye, the ear, the nose. You can't try to be everything, right? And these people might have visions and dreams, and this pastor can help interpret these things to see what's the spiritual intelligence God is giving him through one of his people in the congregation, right? But this is what God did with Ezekiel there. So now in 9, this is what God said I'm going to do. I want to bring judgment on them, but to fulfill Amos 3:7, I got to tell one of my prophets what I'm going to do. So when these things happening, nobody don't think, oh, so what's going on? The prophet know, and he can spread the word, right? So let's go on to 9 and see what's going on here. And that's why I'm trying to tell people you can be protected. You can't be scared to stay in your house. You can't be scared to do all this because wickedness can going on out there all the time. You just got to protect yourself with this best protection. All right, so let's see who go on in 9. So then I heard him call out in a loud voice, bring near those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city, each with a weapon in his hand. So God saying, Ezekiel, you see all the wickedness they're doing. I can bring judgment to the city. So now God calling his angels to call them up. Ezekiel seeing all this, what's going on, right? Bring near to those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city, each with a weapon in his hand. And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen who had a writing kit at his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. So God saying, okay, Ezekiel, I'm showing you what I'm going to do. And he calling up these men who are going to execute judgment. This is the next piece of nugget here. I can't focus on it a lot today. Everything will happen in this physical world, spiritually is what's going on. It's spiritually taking place, and then it's going to happen in this physical world. So if you're a Christian and you don't believe in a spiritual world, you're not going to understand this word properly. Because we're talking about a God, we're talking about the devil. None of them is living on this earth here. It's spiritually. So there's spiritual world that's going on, right? So this is what Ezekiel's seeing God giving these people in the spiritual world orders to execute judgment on his people. Stay with it, right? So he sees 6 men. 6 men with deadly weapons in the hand. There could be guns, swords, whatever it is. It's a deadly weapon. It said, let me read that again. And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen who had a writing kit at his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. So they come in before God. 6 with a deadly weapon and 1 with this writing kit in his hand. You can see what the writing kit is for now, right? Now the glory of the Lord of Israel went up from above the cherubim where it had been and moved to the threshold of the temple. Then the Lord called to the man clothed in linen who had the writing kit in his hand and said to him, the Lord called the man with the writing kit in his hand. He said, come, let me give you some instructions. He said, go through the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it. So he's saying, look, Ezekiel, I show you all these elders who doing, but there's still got some people in Jerusalem who are not believing and following these elders. They know right and they're doing right. They know my word and they're following it, even though they are in the minority. They know my word, they believe it, having confidence in the word, and they're following my word, and they're not following these elders because they know what they're doing is wrong, and they're still sticking with my word. So he telling the man with the writing kit in his hand, go through and put a mark on these people's head, the people who still follow my word, the people who have confidence in my word, the people who still doing the right thing, even though they're in the minority. Even though the pastor's telling them to do the wrong thing, they still saying, no, I don't care if you're a pastor, you're the elder, you're the pope. I know the right thing and I'm going to do the right thing. So God tell this man with the right thing, kid in his hand, go and put a mark on these people's head. Put a mark on them. What is mark is for? You might ask, why are you marking these people? Let's see why you marking these people. All right, he tell the man, go and put a mark on these people's head, the people who not doing the wickedness, right? As I listened, he said to the others, there's the others with the deadly weapons in their hand. He giving them their instructions now. Remember, he gave the man the right thing, get his instruction, put a mark on these people. Maybe he got some Sharpies in there or whatever he got, paintbrush, something. He going to put some type of mark on these people, right? As I listened, he said to the others, follow him through the city and kill without showing pity or compassion. Slaughter the old men, the young men, and the women, the mothers and children, but do not touch anyone who has the mark. He said, kill everybody else who's doing the wickedness, but them ones with the mark, don't touch them. I protecting them. Don't touch them. Do not touch anyone who has the mark. Begin at my sanctuary. So they began with the old men who were in front of the temple. He said, begin right in the church. Right where I show you all the big wickedness going on, because these leaders misleading people. Remember? They are misleading the whole congregation. And what they're doing coming on the congregation, so they're polluting the whole congregation. So you think you're going to church to be blessed by God, but they're polluting your spirit with the evil they're doing right in the church. So he says, start right there. Start there. But you don't have an excuse, because you're supposed to be reading this word for yourself and understanding what's going on. Don't just take what somebody else say. You want to read it for yourself. And the next thing I want to point out in this, everything bad is not from the devil. Sometimes God bringing judgment. And you might see all these stuff going on, and then you see some people get saved. And you're wondering why. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But you want to make sure you're doing the right thing, having confidence in His word, practicing His word, regardless, so you could get this mark on you spiritually that nothing can touch you, that you will be protected, because you can't stay locked up in your house. You can't stay locked up in your house. Even in your house is safe. You got to get this mark. So I'm trying to tell people, do the fast, get realigned with God, get under His protection. And then you could go about it. This is why He said the peace that surpasses all understanding. God's peace is knowing I don't need to worry. He said, don't worry. He said, don't worry, right? And then one of my favorite scriptures I like, Psalms 23. I didn't even know why I like it so much. But after getting this understanding, I realized Psalms 23 verse 4 here would say, even though I walk through the valley, the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, that comfort me. So even if I can walk through the valley of death, and I'm going to have no fear. Because your rod and your staff, you're going to protect me, because you put a mark on me. Those angels, other people who got those destruction weapons in their hand can't touch me. They're coming to form of disasters, flood, hurricanes, all of that. I don't know. All of these disasters and stuff will come and all of that. And some people safe, some people not, and the same in facing the same storm. I'm just saying, based on this, maybe they had the mark on them. Could be other things. I going with this word saying it could be the mark was on them, and He said, okay, disaster, hurricane, blow down, but don't touch certain people. Don't touch certain people. Because we don't know what people are doing in the dark. Because from these guys here, it was the biggest one in church. But we don't know what people are doing in the dark when they're not in front of you. We don't know what people are doing in the dark. So when you see certain things happening sometimes, we don't know what people are doing in the dark. We can only see what is showing in front of us. But God knows. He knows. He knows what they're doing in the dark. All right, guys. I'm going to rest my case there today. But have a great, great day. And we'll talk again on this Friday, on Monday. All right? But go for this mark. You need the mark. We all need that mark on us. All right. Have a great day. Okay, bye.